more women would be more in tune with their cycles and their feminine energies, where they allow themselves to rest the outside world and really be in tune with their hearts and bodies and souls, it would actually be a lot different, because our energies would change and we could be a lot more productive and we could put a lot more creative energy into the space. And with connecting to the feminine energy, that's also, a lot of people think it's a weak energy. A lot of people think that it's when you're sitting in your home crying, hating the world, but it's not. It's actually a very powerful energy. Owning yourself. Divine feminine power is like a connection to a higher power that's inside of you. Slow down and not try to like hustle all the time, because it just doesn't work. Put me time aside and make sure that you schedule it, because it's just going to be so much better that way.
Now. Hey, Judit, we're going live. Who do you want to do a shout out to?
Hi, I want to do a shout out to my mentor and very good friend, Jessica Hood.
Jessica, here we go. Hey guys, we're here today with Judit Mozsolics. Judit is a self-love coach, a feminine empowerment coach, and moon mother who guides women to reclaim their divine feminine power so they can live fully and truly become the women they were born to be. Judit, I am so excited to talk to you about this, and eventually we're going to get around to talking about superhero movies, because I know that you love them.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here too.
Well, let's start with the divine feminine. For just so everyone knows and we're all on the same page, what is the divine feminine?
Yeah, a lot of people, when they hear this word first, they think it's like something over this world, like something very crazy, I don't know, transcendental word. It's not really. Basically, to put it in like a simple way, divine feminine power is like an inner, I could almost say goddess power, like an inner power, almost like a connection to a higher power that's inside of you. So like divine feminine power is really connecting to a sacred part of you that's also present in women and men. So it's not just like, it's basically present in any gender. So it's not gender specified, that it's in everyone. So it's like a connection to like an inner power, basically.
Okay, is the divine in men? Is it also called the divine feminine power in men? Also, it says it's the same energy.
Yes. So both men and women, they both have the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. They are both present in every person, basically.
Gotcha. What's the difference between the divine feminine and the divine masculine?
There's a lot.
Okay.
Just to give you a few examples, the feminine is more like the inward, the slow, the nurture energy, when you are really giving space for your creativity, for your intuition, when you are like oh, there we go.
We're still here.
Okay, I thought I disappeared for a second.
Oh, no, you're still here. I was just focused on you, staring at you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so the divine feminine is more like the yin, the slow, the nurture, the creative, the soft energy, and the masculine is the opposite. It's the logical, it's the hard, it's the go hustle energy, it's the let's get this done like right now. So it's like a very inaction energy compared to the feminine, where it's just more like in the flow and just being, existing, instead of like doing.
And the reason you work with women on divine feminine is what? Why do you do that?
Well, it's because when I started learning about this whole thing years ago, and one of the first things was me becoming a moon mother and also learning about feminine or like female cycles, that work really like drawn me into this whole world, because I realized how much a woman's life can be different once you are living more in connection with your cycles, you're living more in connection with your feminine and not just existing from the masculine energy. So I just really love teaching about it, and I feel like it can be really transformational for women who does the same.
Yeah. Now, most men don't have cycles like women do.
Yeah.
So explain for everybody what it is to have the cycles and why women need to understand them so that they can live more fully.
Yeah. So, I mean, women and men, they both have, of course, hormones, and women, of course, work very differently because we have 4 phases of our cycles, which is, I mean, women know it mostly. They might not be aware of like the energetics, but like everyone knows that, we have like our period, and then the pre-ovulation energy, the ovulation, and premenstrual energy. So those 4 phases. And those 4 phases are very different, both in physical, which that's probably everyone's aware of, because like everyone knows what's going on in their body. Like all women can tell, and like, okay, like I can definitely tell the changes that are like in each cycle, or like especially the one before the period and on the period.
Hmm.
And energetically, most women don't know about it, but for example, the the premenstrual and the menstrual energies are very feminine. So those are the energies when you should and supposed to like slow down, turn inward, like try not to put like social meetings to those 2 weeks, and really just kind of be with yourself, be with your feelings. Because if you do that, the other 2 weeks of that month is going to be a lot more productive, and it's going to be actually a lot more energized, if you allow yourself to rest in those 2 weeks. But if you don't do that, it's not going to happen.
Gotcha. Now, if while you're resting during those 2 weeks, what sort of things are you doing? Because I know a lot of women now are, you're working, you're doing all the things that men are doing, you're having to deal with the world. How do you negotiate that 2 weeks?
Right. I mean, it's unfortunately you can't just be hiding in a cave. I wish we could, especially on the week of the period, or like it depends. Some women have a harder time before the period comes, but try to just either, I mean, that's, I know it's really not ideal, take a day off if you can on your hardest day. And again, I know it's really hard to do every month, although the crazy thing is that some countries actually started to incorporate that. I know that Italy and some of the Scandinavian countries started to give like extra days off for every month for women when they are, really really need it. Of course, this is more for people who are like in, really bad physical pain or have like really bad cramps. And also in some countries, when you are, especially on your period, you can have different tasks, because that week our brain is not functioning basically. Like that week I feel like logical tasks and like, where we have to be like quick and make decisions, that's not the best thing. So I normally try to tell my clients, or women in general, just try to postpone, like again, like the meetings, try to postpone the decision making, try to postpone the social gatherings to the other 2 weeks when you are a lot more energized. So try to rest as much as you can, try to just be with yourself, try to just meditate, or just really, I guess, when you're not at work, because at work obviously you can't do that, but like just take time, like put me time aside and make sure that you schedule it, because it's just going to be so much better that way.
Talk to the men. Talk to them and say, look, you guys, guess you have a little bit of this divine feminine, but how do men then support the women who are going through this 2 week cycle in their 4 weeks? What's the best thing they can do?
Right. I mean, I really feel like it's an important talk to have between, spouses, because men have no idea what's going on inside of a woman, physically or energetically, emotionally. So women have to speak up, like they would have to be kind of warning men that, like, you know what, that week up is coming up. So I guess they can ask them to be more gentle with them, like try not to worry about it if we snap at them, or like not to take it personal, or try to make sure that by the time comes you have chocolate and flowers and the movie's prepared. And I guess just, try like to give us space when that time of the month comes, or like again, for some women it's harder even the week before. For some women, they don't even notice the week before, so it's really just that one week of the period. So I guess these are the main things you can do, and just be there for them when the women need it.
I got you. Now, you do coaching on this specifically, and you're doing it with the women.
Yeah.
And what is it that you're trying to get the women to learn and do during your courses that you're actually teaching?
So I really like try to teach them to just, well, first off, once they learn the different phases of their cycles, I really like to guide them on how to schedule their lives around it, because again, if they rest on those 2 weeks, or they kind of spend time with themselves, and they hold off on like big tasks as much as they can, of course, unfortunately it's not possible all the time,
Mhm.
but just really to slow down and not try to like hustle all the time, because it just doesn't work. Like, they will burn out after a while, and if they just try to be in this go 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 masculine energy, it's not gonna work on a long term.
Gotcha. Now, I know one of the things that you also do is you do womb magic, womb work. How does that tie into the women and the cycles and all that stuff? How does that work?
Yeah, I do, yeah, womb blessings and womb healings, and it's very similar to what Reiki is. So it's an energy healing technique. It's basically like a realignment, or like a feminine awakening practice, I would say. And it can help with women who are not, for example, it can help with women who had either past trauma, either miscarriages, or they are not in touch with themselves at all. They don't know their cycles, they don't know who they are, they don't love it themselves. But also, it can help with someone who has a hard time having regulated periods, or just really having a hard time with relationships, or with men in general, or with their mother, with their father. So all those ancestral energies, it can help to heal that as well.
So I know that Reiki can be done at a distance. Can the womb healings and blessings also be done at a distance?
They can be, it depends. I'm only a level 1 moon mother, meaning I can only do it in person. Level 2 moon mothers, though, they can do it in the distance.
Okay. And then what's the difference when you do the in-person versus the distance?
I mean, the effect can be the same. I just feel like when I'm able to create like a sacred environment for the person with my own personal energy, put down like candles, put down like a blanket, prepare some fruit for after the ceremony. I feel like it's somehow, again, the effect is the same with a
Mhm.
distant and an in person, but I feel like it's just like somehow a more powerful way of doing it when like I'm doing it in person.
What do the women tell you, like after you've performed the ceremonies and stuff? What kind of results are they experiencing and telling you about?
Yeah, so after for a whole month, it's a rebirthing period. So basically, a lot of them are becoming very emotional, which is normal. And a lot of them actually have deeper conversations with their spouse or with their mother. A lot of them are like actually, like some of them have there a little bit of change in their cycles, because like it's realigning. It's also kind of like a detox, so some of them actually sometimes experience headaches, but mostly it's like they start to be more in tune with themselves, like they start to recognize like, okay, now my body wants me to rest, like they start to listen to more to their intuition. It's kind of like a reconnection, or like a realignment, I would say. So a lot of things are going down in that 1 month, but these are just some of the things.
How long does it usually take for the realignments to happen when you start working with somebody?
Well, it's about a month, because a whole cycle would have to go through, or like a whole cycle would need to pass. But some people need a little bit more than just one time, depending on like whatever they're working on. Like for people who wants to get maybe pregnant, or who had miscarriages in the past, or who had like more trauma, or they had like they were really disconnected from their bodies, like those women might need more than just one womb blessing or womb healing, but one can already do a lot already as well.
When it's a couple, do you ever have the men work with you and with the woman at the same time, or is it always individual?
No, it's just individual. I mean, I can do groups for women, but not with men.
I got you. I got you. Now
We
is
send them to the, I don't know, bar.
they get to go to the bar, they get to go watch
Yeah,
the movies while you
the
guys do
the
the
good game
blessings.
or something. Yeah.
So what is it that there's something that I wanted to ask you, and this is about women and the divine energy, and what changes do you think you would see if there was more feminine energy in the world as opposed to this masculine energy, which can be toxic at times? What do you think it would be like if we had more feminine energy?
Yeah, and that's what I also noticed. And I think because our society is so masculine, because, everyone thinks that women have to like wear five hats at the same time, and you can only be successful if you're hustling, if you are like, in this go 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 energy, if you are like working all the time, if you're productive. And I feel like, especially in the long term, it's really not healthy for women because, first off, we are not robots and we have emotions, we have hormones, we have adrenal system. So it's going to lead to burnout after a while. So we can't just exist like that. So I feel like if more women would be more in tune with their cycles and their feminine energies, where they allow themselves to rest and allow themselves to just let go and just like kind of close off the outside world and really be in tune with their hearts and bodies and souls, it would actually be a lot different because our energies would change and we could be a lot more productive and we could put a lot more creative energy into the space. And I feel like with connecting to the feminine energy, that's also, a lot of people think it's a weak energy. A lot of people think that it's when you're sitting at your home crying, hating the world, but it's not. It's actually a very powerful energy because when you're connected to that, like you are owning yourself, you are unapologetically yourself, and your confidence is a lot stronger, your self-worth is higher. So I feel like that can only be a benefit to today's world, instead of just grinding all the time and just trying to, achieve things when you are in your last breath, basically, for the week.
Yes. Now, so do we need to get the women to embrace their feminine energy more and push it into the world, or do we need to get the men to chill a little bit and bring that masculine energy down and increase their feminine energy?
Well, probably both, because masculine and feminine can really work if they are balanced. So I feel like we need both of the energies in both men and women, but probably because the society is so man focused, I guess. Probably because women are mostly in their masculine energies, I feel like that would be more necessary for women to be more in tune with their feminine. Um, I don't even know if that's possible. If that's gonna be ever our world for the men to be more feminine, but I mean maybe in some communities or some parts of the world, who knows? Never say never.
Maybe. You never know. So if you had one message you wanted to send out to the women of the world and you wanted men to understand too, what would that message really be? What do you want to get across to everybody?
I would say that slowing down and resting is not, or like being vulnerable or emotion, like showing emotions and feeling emotions is not a weak thing. It's actually a very brave thing and it's very beneficial. So slow down, don't hustle all the time because on the long term, it's going to be better.
Yeah. I would say that's probably true for men and women, right?
That's very true, though. Yeah, for men and women.
Yeah. 'Cause I know that the hustle culture it's very stressful and can be very toxic.
Yeah.
So, so Edith, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. People can get in touch with you. I think you've got your website. We can get in touch with you at healthyandloved.com. And also you are on Instagram, healthy and loved also on Instagram. You're amazing. Are
Thank
you
you
gonna
so
go
much
see
for having
uh,
me.
are you gonna go see Black Adam this weekend?
Oh, yes, I will. I probably will. Yes, I'm excited to see it.
That's it. I am into Marvel. This will be the first DC thing coming out in a while, right?
I think so. I think, yeah,
Yeah,
Thor 2 was maybe the last one.
yeah.
Or
Well,
I
yeah, I
think
don't
so.
remember the last DC thing I saw.
Oh, that's right, the DC one.
So Wonder Woman 84 or something like that,
I
maybe.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so.
All
Yeah.
right, let's check them out again and see how they do.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
thanks again for being on, and I will talk to you in the
so
future
much.
tense.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Bye.